welcome. Socialism. It's not a dirty word. It's not what people think it is. Democratic socialism is not what people think it is. There's this perception today that socialism or democratic socialism is somehow communism or somehow, dictatorship. It's not. That is a perception that's been allowed to permeate by certain people out there in the community, certain people out there running for politics or running for office in various countries, mainly on the conservative side, in order to justify the reasons why you should never support the idea of it. But here's the reality. Socialism, or democratic socialism, and it's pronounced as socialism, is everywhere in society today anyway. Democratic socialism is all about society working for everyone, not just the rich. It's about society working for everyone. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So, what do I mean when I say democratic socialism or socialist ideals already exist in many countries around the world? You already, have access and assistance from government programs which are essentially democratic socialism. Well, here in Australia, here are just some examples of what I'm talking about. If you are on a pension, veterans, whatever that may be, that is democratic socialism. If everyone who accesses Medicare, that is socialism. When you go to the chemist and you get medicine from a script when you visited your doctor, if you visited your doctor and haven't paid anything through Medicare, that's socialism. When you go to the chemist and you get subsidised medication through the PBS or the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme here in Australia, that is socialism. That is democratic socialism at work. That's what it is. It comes back to one simple thing. It's about society working for everybody and everybody getting a fair go. That's what it's about. It's not about this idea that the Conservatives want you to believe that it's somehow big and bad and nasty and it's dictatorship and it's communism and it's all these things, or it's what we have in. Anyone who sits here and thinks it is just kidding themselves. China is not a socialist country. It is not a democratic socialist country, for sure it's certain, but it's certainly not even a socialist country. It's not even a communist country. What it is a totalitarian dictatorship, one-party state. That's what it is. A capitalist, one-party state, totalitarian dictatorship. That's it. That's what that is. Socialism or democratic socialism is a societal program of in the UK. Every time someone uses the National Health Service, the NHS, that is democratic socialism at work. If you live in the United States, every time you use Social Security, that is democratic socialism at work. Simple. Everyone, you join a club, you get involved with a sporting organisation, whatever it may be, democratic socialism at work. That's it. That's it. Anything else that anyone tells you about it, just plain wrong. It's wrong. It's not true. It's not accurate. There has been no socialist countries in the history of the world that have ever existed in full. There's been no, believe it or not, communist countries in the history of the world that have actually instigated genuine communism. Now, some people say, oh, Russia. No. The Soviet Union. No. Russia, Soviet Union. No. Never did. China. No. Vietnam. No. North Vietnam. No. North Korea. No. Just not accurate. The only one that might have got close could have been Cuba, but even they weren't really. No one has. But there's been plenty of countries that have had democratic socialism and democratic socialist leaning governments. Australia, the Whitlam government was democratic socialist. The Hawke government was a democratic socialist government. The Rudd government was Labor, democratic socialist government. The Albanese government is a democratic socialist government. That's what it is. The Starmer government in the UK is a democratic socialist government. The Blair government, the Brown governments were all democratically socialist governments. They wouldn't like me. They probably don't agree when I'm saying that, but they were. They were. At the heart, democratic socialism was the government that they led, or the government that they were. It's as simple as that. And democratic socialist governments are the ones that bring about change, significant change in countries. Conservative governments don't. Liberal governments in Australia, liberal conservative governments in Australia, liberal national governments, they don't bring about any sort of change of any significance. 9 times out of 10, we sit around for years and years with nothing getting done. The Menzies government did nothing. The Abbott, Turnbull, Dutton, Morrison, whatever they became, Tim Pot government we've had for the last 9.5 years in Australia did diddly squat. The only thing the Howard government ever did of any significance was the GST. The gun reforms. But the GST, big deal. Not much at all, really. But it's Labor or democratic socialist governments that make major decisions, that do major change. In the 1970s here in Australia, it was Medibank. Then under Hawke, it was Medicare. It was free education under Whitlam. HECS came about under Hawke. Making sure people got access to education. Under Rudd and Gillard, it was the National Disability Insurance Scheme. It still is today. That's democratic socialism. That's what it's about. And democratic socialists are not nasty people. Ooh, scary people. We're not. And I say we're not because I am a democratic socialist and proud to be one. So I say to all my friends out there that are watching this on Facebook or will watch this later or watch it on YouTube who say you don't know anyone that's a democratic socialist or a left-winger, you're looking at one. You've known them for years. I might have always been to where I am on the scale, but I've always been that. And I always will. I say this with pride that I'm a democratic socialist and I'm proud to be. I say I'm left-wing with pride and I'm proud to be. Anyone who calls me woke, I pick that banner up and say, yeah, fine, great, fantastic, happy to be so. Because we make a difference. We actually change things for everyone. We're about equality. We're about everyone in society having a fair chance and a fair shake at it. We're about making sure everyone is supported. That's what democratic socialism is all about and what democratic socialists are all about. We're not anything other than that. We're anybody you'll see out in the community. There are many of us. Many people support democratic socialism. And you'll be surprised who does. Who does? But it's not a dirty word. And it's not a word to be scared of. It's just honest, down-to-earth government, democracy, socialism, socialist view, getting things done for all, having society work for all. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. That is democratic socialism. That is socialism. And I'm proud to be one. So should you.